I and my Father are one. If I do not the works of my Father, believe me not. But if I do, though ye believe me not, believe the works, that ye may know and believe that the Father is in me, and I in him. He made himself one with God, and though it is not strange or robbery to do the works of God. And thought. He made himself one with God, and thought it not strange or robbery to do the works of God. You always bear fruit in harmony with what you are. It is the most natural thing in the world for a pear tree to bear pears, an apple tree to bear apples, and for man to mold the circumstances of his life in harmony with his inner nature. I don't know if he's going to bring up the mustard seed thing here. I don't know. I've told y'all about the mustard seed thing before. Basically, the whole you need only the faith of a mustard seed to move mountains. That doesn't mean a small amount of faith. That means complete faith. That means if you want to manifest wealth, you must totally believe in your wealth, in your possession of wealth. If you want to manifest a marriage, you must totally believe yourself to be married now. If there is some little doubt in you that, maybe they won't marry me, or, maybe I'll never, we'll never get to that phase in our relationship, or something dramatic, like maybe they'll die first or whatever, then that will hold you out of that state and hold you out of that experience. Unless you have such a dominant, belief that overpowers that. And so that mustard seed thing is talking about a completeness of faith, not a tiny amount of faith. I am the vine, ye are the branches. A branch has no life, save it be rooted in the vine. All I need to do to change the fruit is to change the vine. You have no life in my world, save that I am conscious of you. You are rooted in me, and like fruit you bear witness of the vine that I am. There is no reality in the world other than your consciousness. Now this is dramatic because this has this solipsistic undercurrent to it, and it's something interesting to contemplate. But as a former friend told me once, that if you can apply these teachings properly, to have people treat you the way you prefer to be treated, and to have them experience the things that they tell you they prefer to experience, what does it really matter? Like, it's fairly academic, and it's not necessarily something that we as humans need to understand. So if your friend tells you that they're in ill health, they wish they were well, and of course they truly wish they were well, and you see that for them and they experience it, that's all that matters. It doesn't even really matter if they actually have a tumor or not. You know what I'm saying? It only matters that you made the movement in mind and they had their result. You can spend time thinking about those things. I do, especially since I saw the thing about the infinite dust that everything's an animation of. But the application and then the experience, like having that experience of resurrecting these things in your world after you've crucified them in your mind, is far more important than the mystical physics of how it really works. Like, that's something that the Father within you completely understands, and it's not necessarily something that you as this human manifestation need to understand in order to make it work. It's like when you turn on the light in your house, do you need to understand a textbook on electricity first? No, and it doesn't matter to you. What matters to you is you hit the switch and the light's on, right? Do you need to understand the internet in order to enjoy its use? No. You just need to know what site you want to go to and, what things to click on that page in order to get where you want to go on the internet. You don't need to spend 15 years learning computer science and learning networking and becoming a sysadmin or development ops type person in order to use the internet and enjoy it, right? It's the same with this. You don't need to know if that person actually exist or not. I mean, they do exist. They exist in eternity, right? We all exist in eternity. We're all animations of the same one consciousness, okay? So does it matter, right? Like, let's say you're someone who's estranged from another person, whether it's a family member, a friend, or a lover, whatever, or a child even. If you have a kid that hasn't talked to you in a while. Does it actually matter if they're somewhere out there right now, not talking to you, or if they're only something within that you project outwards? And for a long time, you have, for whatever reason, decided and persistently decided not to project them in your immediate vicinity. Like, what is that difference there? I mean, to your experience, you're not experiencing them right now, and that's the cause of your pain. But if you so firmly believed and identified with being with them physically again, that it then expressed, that's really all that matters to you. That time apart was painful, but ultimately what you want is to share that space with them again. And you can't do that as long as you're constantly imagining them being elsewhere, wanting nothing to do with you. You're creating your own perpetual experience of that pain, when instead you could imagine them here and now and strongly identify with that such that it expressed. Okay. Although you may now seem to be what you do not want to be, all you need do to change it and to prove the change by circumstances in your world is to quietly assume that you are that which you now want to be. And in a way you do not know, you will become.